Hello friends, today Rama is joining us for our read aloud called Ilyas and Duck in a Zakat Tale, a story about giving, written by Omar S. Khwaja and illustrated by Leo Angelini. The example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain, which grows 7 spikes. In each spike is 100 grains, and Allah multiplies His reward for whom He wills. The Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 261. On a warm afternoon, at nearly 2:15, Ilyas sat under a tree. He knew just what to do.
"What are you doing?"
asked Duck. "I'm sorting my money," replied Ilyas.
"Did you say money? Follow me!" Swish! This way! I have money!
exclaimed Duck. "Whoa, that's a lot of money you have stored away," replied Ilyas. "How much of that are you giving to people who don't have enough?"
"Give my money away?"
Thunk, thunk.
Splat. But why?
Allah says to give some of your extra money to help the poor and needy, explained Ilyas. This is called Zakat. Giving Zakat also helps you and the whole community.
How does it do that?
asked Duck. Let me tell you a story that might help you understand. A Zakat Tale. Once upon a time, not far away, a noble king was unhappy. His land was in disarray. His people were kind-hearted, but to his dismay, when they stopped giving zakat, the community began to go astray. The aristocrats began to develop a culture of hoarding and greed, caring only for themselves and not for those in need. Greed way. All about me. The peasants began to harbor feelings of resentment and envy, having barely enough to live while others had plenty. The businessmen began to lose customers who once shopped at their stores, as many people couldn't afford to buy things anymore. Until finally one day the king said to the crowd, "This selfish behavior Allah does not allow. When you care only for yourself, it puts the community in distress. That's why Allah says to give zakat. It's His plan to help you more, not less."
Ha ha ha! You mean give our money away?
"Yeah! How does that help me?" So the king explained to the crowd how it can be, that giving from their wealth was good for them indeed. First you give zakat, then Allah rewards you. Zakat helps the poor and needy. Poor and needy help themselves. Then the community improves, and then you improve. But that wasn't all. The king said one more thing. "Know that your wealth is a gift from Allah, and sharing it is a great blessing from Him." Then the king decreed with a wave of his hand, "Zakat you shall give. We must follow Allah's plan." The king's news spread quickly, by land, through the air, across the woods, and overseas.
"Avast, miharis! You must give zakat and bring off harmony!"
Time went by, 1 year, 2, maybe even 3, and Allah's plan was working, just like the king said it would be. When the people with the lot started giving zakat, it improved many lives and softened many hearts. And when the poor worried less about meeting basic needs, they became a productive part of a growing community. Zakat was also good for the businessmen and their stores, as they now had many customers lined out the door. In the end, harmony returned to the land. People gave zakat and worked hand in hand. They stopped being selfish like they once were, and when they put trust in the guidance from Allah, they lived together, happily ever after. The end. Now do you understand why it's so important to give zakat? Asked Ilyas. Yes, I must not be greedy. It's time to help the poor and needy. Charity, zakat, spending, savings. If I do say so, I have quite a bit of money. More than I need, actually. I reckon this makes me rich and wealthy. But I've learned that when I give zakat, Allah helps me become a better person. He blesses my wealth and removes all my selfishness and greed. And this makes me feel like the richest person in the world. I work hard, but sometimes I don't have enough money to buy food, clothing, and shelter for myself. This makes me poor and needy. But when I receive zakat, I use the money to buy all the things I need to live. This gives me a chance to make a better life for myself, and I appreciate that. Some charity is optional, but giving zakat is so important that Allah made it obligatory. This means that it's not a choice, and we must give it regularly. So when the poor and needy receive zakat, they spend it to buy things in my store, and that helps my business succeed.
I like cheese.
The end. Thank you for joining Rama and myself for today's read aloud about zakat.